That red solo cup you're using at the barbecue will take 450 to 1,000 years to break down. It's barbecue season. That means it's time for fun in the sun, hamburgers, grills, disposable plates, and fireworks. Now, I've heard from some of you who are trying to be a little bit more sustainable this summer. So, here are 5 tips for a greener barbecue. Tip number 1, if you can't reuse it, refuse it. It's common to have disposable cutlery, plates, and cups for barbecues, but they cause a lot of waste at the end of the day. If you can, switch out styrofoam and plastic materials for items that are compostable or, better yet, reusable. The material in styrofoam cups is nearly impossible to recycle, and it doesn't decompose. We're not even really sure how long it takes for that plastic foam to break down. Estimates range from 500 years to forever. A UN report from 2018 simply says they take thousands of years to decompose. The same applies to other supplies used at barbecues, things like tablecloths, decorations, coolers, etc. If you can find items that are reusable and not one and done, then the more eco-friendly your cookout will be. Tip number 2, avoid charcoal grills. There's no barbecue without a grill, but don't worry, I'm not here to tell you to get rid of this essential. If you have the choice, skip using charcoal grills. They're a huge contributor to air pollution during the summertime. Instead, use propane grills, which produce half the amount of carbon dioxide charcoal does. Grilling with charcoal emits up to 11 pounds of carbon dioxide into the environment per cooking session. That's enough CO2 to charge approximately 607 cell phones or drive 12.5 miles in a small car. Grilling with propane, on the other hand, emits just 5.6 pounds. By ditching charcoal, you would not only be reducing your carbon footprint, but you would also be eating healthier. Studies show that meats cooked over charcoal can contain more carcinogens. Tip 3, think about your food. Do you know where your food comes from? Most of us don't, but a lot of it is imported, meaning the food we consume has a big carbon footprint, from being harvested, processed, and transported. If you want to avoid that, then you should shop local. You'll not only be reducing your carbon footprint, but you'll also be getting fresher produce and supporting local farmers. You can also cut your grilling carbon footprint with the meat you choose to cook. Instead of your typical red meat, try a sustainably raised meat, which is produced without destroying the environment. You'd also be supporting responsible farmers who use eco-friendly agricultural practices. Or lower your carbon footprint even more by reducing the amount of red meat available at your cookout, and offer plant-forward burger options instead. Tip number 4, get a keg. For those of us who are of drinking age, having an ice-cold beer in the summer is super refreshing. But why not buy a keg instead of multiple cases of beer? You'll not only reduce waste, but also be able to keep the fun going on longer. Obviously, a keg would only be a better option if you provide your guests with reusable cups. But buying a keg would also encourage you to go local with your beer drinking and support local craft breweries that might have cleaner, greener brews. Tip number 5, stop the backyard fireworks. This might be the hardest to avoid, knowing the thrill people get from setting off their own fireworks. Not saying this because it's a safety hazard, although you should 100% be safe around them, but because fireworks contribute to a great amount of harmful chemicals and smoke in the atmosphere. Oh, and they also contaminate our rivers and lakes, because as Newton said, everything that goes up must come down. Fireworks tend to fall back down into bodies of water, polluting them with propellants and colorant residue. So before you spend money on fireworks, consider doing some research and buying biodegradable fireworks. Or just plan on watching them at a community display. They're big explosions in the sky, so you'll be able to see them from most places. So there you have it. If you want to be a bit more green this summer with your cookouts, there's many ways you can do it. In some cases, you'll not only be more green, but you'll also be healthier and even save money. At the end of the day though, just remember that it's summer and we all deserve to kick back and relax. We've earned it.